They are friendships forged in the heat of battle. Bombs and bullets flying, and in those quiet moments of the war in Afghanistan, American soldiers forge bonds with those who know nothing of war and are only seeking a little love and companionship. And one group is seeking to bring them back together here in America. Let me make a little sense of the chaos. Let's welcome back the founder of Guardians of Rescue, the nonprofit whose members are always working to protect the well-being of animals. It's a pleasure to welcome Robert Misseri to the show. Robert, thanks so much for being here.
And thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Tell us about the Nobody Left Behind program.
So we have our service members serving overseas, and every day they encounter stray dogs that live out in the wild and have to fend for themselves in this war-torn area. And many of our service members save them, adopt them, protect them, and, of course, fall in love with them. And then there's a time where they have to separate because the service members have to come back stateside, leaving those animals once again to fend for themselves, and that weighs very, very, very heavy on their hearts when they know they had to leave them behind. So what we do is, along with Nowzad in Kabul, we collect the dogs, we get them to a facility, which is Nowzad, we quarantine them, and then we start working on getting them back here to be reunited with those service members.
People would listen to this and they would say that can't be that expensive, actually, because you're talking about dogs, mostly puppies, if you will, and all you have to do is just bring them over to the States and have them. But it's not that simple, is it?
It's extremely expensive for a couple of reasons. One, the fees for the airlines are extremely costly, and the average cost is between $3,500 and $4,000 per dog. Fortunately, in this case, we have the founder of Nowzad that's going to be flying them, and he's going to be along with the dogs as excess cargo, so the cost goes down drastically. But historically, it cost us between $3,500 and $4,000 per dog to get them flown to Dubai, is where they're boarded on a plane. Once they leave Kabul, they go back into quarantine in Dubai and then flown to the United States. So it is costly, unfortunately.
What's it like when you get one of the soldiers from overseas who got close to one, and it must be so tough to find the right one sometimes, get them over here. But when you see them reunited, what's that like?
You know, the last time we brought a dog back for a service member, his exact words was, "The last time I was this happy when my daughter was born." And it's overwhelming for them. They don't even believe it until they actually see it, that dog is back with them here, because they've gone through so much together. I mean, they've witnessed horrific things together. They've slept on, I'm sure, restless nights together. They went on missions together, and even though these are not trained dogs, these have become their battle buddies in a sense. And to have them back here with them is just something. And because of the dogs in Afghanistan are not looked at the way they are here in the Western world. Generally, they're looked at as a very different type of animal.
So they looked at animals that really are not part of a family in many ways.
No. And there are, don't get me wrong, there are places in Afghanistan that have pets and what have you, but in the areas where they're fighting, no, it's not such a thing. Dog fighting is probably the largest sport in Afghanistan. So these dogs endure horrific abuse. And organizations like Nowzad that are there on the ground are working with the people, and they're helping people who have pets, and of course people who are doing horrible things, are educating them, and we're helping our veterans on this end, getting those dogs back with them, so that they don't have to ever live with that heavy heart feeling that, you know what, I left this animal behind. And I speak to a lot of veterans that had to leave those dogs behind, and they can't get it out of their head 5 years later.
I think it's just wonderful what you're doing here. It's the Nobody Left Behind program. I want to remind everybody that it costs money, and they're always looking for donations. The website is guardiansofrescue.org. You can go there. You can help them reunite these people and these friends in war. Robert Misseri, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck, Robert. I hope we help the effort.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. The elections in Ferguson, Missouri, much more, because now there may be a verdict in Boston in the marathon trial. All this news coming up.